Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. Today, we're going to be reacting to Caught in the Hustle. They're suggested by Alex Castillo Velez. So, thank you, Alex, for the suggestion. Keep coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more Immortal on the channel every single Tuesday. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what Caught in the Hustle is all about. Let's see what Immortal Technique has to say. Let's get it.
Immortal technique, caught in the hustle.
Yeah,
Compton 12 inches on
right when they
Uncle
was trying
Howie
to turn their
Records.
back on the street. Not let us have our say. Fuck that. Fuck y'all. It's the Stronghold Mixtape, Volume 2. Immortal Technique. Holla. Hard.
Hold up. Before we get too deep into this, guys, there's something interesting going on with the panning. I want to zero in on that.
Not let us have our say. Fuck that. Fuck y'all. It's the Stronghold Mixtape, Volume 2. Immortal Technique. Holla. Hard.
Okay. So nice start, fairly clean mix. The panning feels very extra at the beginning, and the song almost feels like lopsided because what we're getting is it feels like the drums are panned almost completely to the right side. Maybe like not fully right, but it's close enough. And then you have the guitar, which has a great feel to it, but it's very soft. So then when that's in the middle, there's not a lot of balance going on. So it kind of feels like my head's being dragged this way. You know, small little thing. It does make sense to do that in mixes to help separate different instruments, but I think the extreme level of pan is what's really detracting for me in that regard.
It's the Stronghold Mixtape, Volume 2. Immortal Technique. Holla. Harlem. Peace.
They say the odds against me are crooked and impossible. Like I was born with a hole in my heart. It's an obstacle. I left to die by the doctors in the children's hospital. But I never lose hope. Success is psychological. The world is volatile and the street is my education. Shaping the nation like the blueprint of a mason. While Shawshank record deals get you raped on occasion. So I'm focused on my economic situation. I'm like the little
Okay, nice flow coming in. Great compound rhymes. As soon as that drop hits, it feels like we almost get another drum track that's like maybe the same pattern, very similar at least, panned over to the left alongside what's happening on the right. I'm not sure exactly what they did with that, but it does help even it out. Nice, solemn type of feel on the delivery from Immortal so far. Let's bring it back and keep it going.
in the children's hospital, but I never lose hope. Success is psychological. The world is volatile and the street is my education. Shaping the nation like the blueprint of a mason. While Shawshank record deals get you raped on
Shaping the nation like a blueprint of a mason. Believe he's referring to the Freemasons there.
While Shawshank record deals get you raped on occasion. So I'm focused on my economic situation. I'm like the little kids on TV that dig through the trash. I hustle regardless of the way you talk shit and laugh. A lot of niggas drop science, but they don't know the math. Cause they mind is narrower than the righteous path. It's funny how on the block, niggas that kill you for cash. But
And that's a great example of a bunch of rhymes that work really well, but are all spelled very differently, going from trash to laugh to math. They're all very close, and he's almost more rhyming that vowel of that long A sound rather than that end math, trash, fat, and I lost track. Whatever the laugh, they're all slightly different.
path. It's funny how on the block, niggas that kill you for cash, but never raise the gun to cry out. Freedom at last, the Cold War is over, but the world is still getting colder. Atlas walking through the projects with the hood on my shoulders. I would like to raise my children to grow to
And that's a nice reference. Atlas walking through the projects. I think he said with the hood on his shoulders. Atlas holding up the earth. Greek mythology, instead of holding up the earth, Immortal Technique is holding up the hood, the neighborhood, if you will.
last, the Cold War's over, but the world is still getting colder. Atlas walking through the projects with the hood on my shoulders. I would like to raise my children to grow to be soldiers, but then a general would decide when their life would be over. So I work hard until my personality split, like the Black Panthers into the Bloods and the Crips. They said I'd never be shit, but now I sit and reminisce like Yeshua Ben Yosef flipping through Genesis. Ignorance is venomous and it murders the
That's great, man. Yeshua going to Genesis, getting some biblical references in there. I'm talking about he wanted to raise his kids to be soldiers, but then a general would be the one who decide when they die. Then we get some references to the Black Panthers, the Bloods, and the Crips. I'm not sure exactly where he's connecting those, but as always, so many topics, so much knowledge, and just awareness being brought to all these different things, especially if you're not from an area where that's something you're exposed to directly.
Ben Yosef flipping through Genesis. Ignorance is venomous and it murders the soul, spreading like a virus, running rampant out of control. So if I should ever fall and get caught in a hustle, let them know that I died while I fought in the struggle. From the hood rats to rich kids lost in a bubble, spray painted on the streets and in the subway tunnels. Write it down and remember that we never gave in. The mind of a child is where the revolution begins. So if the solution has never been to look in yourself, how is it that you expect to find it anywhere else? Immortal technique. In the streets back on the
Awesome, man. One thing I do love is that he's kept that immortal technique ad lib just locked in for so long. This is definitely an old project. At least it made it to YouTube 9 years ago. And it looks like it was actually released in 2004. So that evens it out there. But fantastic feel on the hook. As I've heard from a couple of the production videos I've been watching lately and mixing and everything, when you want something to feel big, don't make it big. Make everything else smaller around it. And I think that shows up really well in this track. That hook, the vocal becomes much more round and whole. The instrumental feels like it beefs up a little bit. We get a nice lacy vocal up in the top, just kind of ooh, just like little sounds, nothing crazy. And all of that combines to make this section feel much more grand and just pumps more energy in. Then we get a nice little wave back down into the verse.
never been to look in yourself. How is it that you expect to find it anywhere else? Immortal technique in the streets, back on the hustle. Cause 3 strikes to get you life for stuffing cracks in a duffel. Upstate behind steel gates, attacked in a scuffle. Razor blade stuck on the side of pencils, hacked to your muscle. But the emptiness is what bleeds you to death.
Damn. Razor blade stuck to pencils, hacked through your muscle. Oh, the images he conjures as well, vivid.
Steel gates attacked in a scuffle. Razor blade stuck on the side of pencils, hacked to your muscle. But the emptiness is what bleeds you to death when it cuts you. And it's the lawyers, not the inmates, scheming to fuck you, trying to fight the system from inside of them.
It's the lawyers, not the inmates, scheming to fuck you. Talking, people be like, don't drop the soap, man. Be like, don't sign the agreement. That seems like what we're really saying.
Not the inmates scheming to fuck you, trying to fight the system from inside eventually corrupts you. But that's what you get when you put a corporation above you. And it's the people that love you that seem to hurt you the most. Sometimes when they die, you find yourself cursing a ghost. But you make success, nobody delivers your fate. Sometimes you give and you take, since prehistoric vertebrates crawled out of the lakes. And that's the truth about life. Wanna do with the ghetto in your car rims and your ice. Cause even though we survived through the struggle that made us, we still look at ourselves through the eyes of people that hate us. But I'ma make it
Even though we survived the struggle that made us, we still look at ourselves through the eyes of the people that hate us. Poignant. Just distilling these large uh concepts and pieces of culture down to these little, sometimes just 1 bar, sometimes maybe 2 bars. But y'all get where I'm going with this. It's the sentiment is beautiful, and in some ways the ugliness of the world and the way he communicates it is what makes it beautiful, man. And it's a crazy thing, the different ways we end up seeing ourselves because of the culture we grow up within, and what you see on the news, and everything else that becomes a part of that. Just wow.
Of people that hate us, but I'ma make it regardless of the trumped up charges and semi-automatic barrages that empty the cartridge. Post-traumatically scarred kids that try to be brave, cause niggas backstab each other just to try to get paid. Turn cannibal like knights during the crusades, afraid of responsibility, addicted to greed, beating a girl, purposefully losing the seed, as if we bound to the destiny we used to receive. So if I should ever fall and get caught in a hustle, let them know that I died while I fought in the struggle. From the
Beautiful transitions between the hook. Love the instrumental. Nice, smooth, thoughtful, but it's got a great pace to it. The layering that they bring in during the hook to give that roundness to his main vocal just works super well. Beautifully done.
hustle, let them know that I died while I fought in the struggle. From the hood rats to rich kids lost in the bubbles, spray painted on the streets and in the subway tunnels. Write it down and remember that we never gave in. The mind of a child is where the revolution begins. So if the solution has never been to look in yourself, how is it that you expect to find it anywhere else? I used to wonder people don't believe in themselves, and then I saw the way they portrayed us to everyone else. They cursed us to only see the worst in ourselves, blind to the fact the whole time we were hurting ourselves. I used to wonder don't believe in themselves, and then I saw the way they portrayed us to everyone else. They cursed us.
ViperRecords.com, ImmortalTechnique.com.
The little producer tag, or not producer tag, like the label tag, whatever you want to call it at the end there, definitely intrusive, but that whispery outro fit well with the energy of the song. Great choice. If there was a version without that tag on there, I think it'd be even better. And that panning that I heard at the beginning that felt kind of off, by the time you get into the verse and you get used to the track and you stop thinking about where everything's placed, it works out well. Everything fits. Nice mix and master to it. Everything is clean. Beautiful track. Thank you again to Alex Castillo Velez for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell, especially if you want to see more Immortal Technique every Tuesday. But without any further ado, y'all have a great rest of your day. Much love to the No Shoes gang, and I'll see you all next time.